Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll get a look at Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers as they square off with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They've been playing well, really well. Winners of 5 of their last 7, but losers last time out. On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The San Francisco offense heading out, and a welcome sight for 49er fans. Jimmy Garoppolo leading the way. Jimmy, of course, lost for the season in Week 3 last year in Kansas City, and then the Niners really struggled the rest of the way without him. The silver lining to the early season injury, it gave Jimmy Garoppolo plenty of time to heal and get back to 100%.
Here we go. 180. Check. Watch the ball.
There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. In last week's game for Kittle, there are the numbers. 5 catches, 79 yards, and a touchdown. Throwing on first is Garoppolo.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
A big play there for the Niners. 58 yards. He's locked in early. 2 nice first down completions to start.
I like the fact that he's seeing the whole field early, spreading it around a little bit in the early going.
Here we go. 180. Check my hunt.
On play action, now Garoppolo. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run with Marshawn Lynch. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here. The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Here we go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards 2:22 on the clock. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Got the connection here to Bourne. Touchdown, 49ers. Kendrick Bourne, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the number 1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit down and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Wilson throwing again. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. On the return, it's James. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. He's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season, but you read the local paper this morning. There was no talk of that mark. They interviewed him, and he wasn't talking about 1,000 yards. The old cliche focused on this game. If he has a big one, might be able to get the win and the 1,000 yards.
Seems like he just wants to let it come to him, right, as opposed to trying to force it. And that's probably the right idea and the right attitude. So game situation, play calling will dictate things. Now, how does he get there once he tries to get hot? Formations, route running, trying to get mismatches for him, different types of routes he will run downfield, short, medium, long. All those things will come into play as he tries to get to that magical number.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On now is the 27-year-old rookie, Mitch Wisnowski, to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Seahawks back out of the field here, getting set for their next drive. You know, this is a team that great record this year, double digits and wins again, but they have played a lot of close games in 2019, haven't they?
They think it's character building, and they think it's going to serve them well come the cauldron of the playoffs. That when you play those intense games, those close games, they've been there before. Look at them. They beat the Steelers by 2. They beat the Bengals by 1 on opening day. How about the game against the Browns? Just by 4 against them on the road. A field goal better than the Niners in overtime. So they've been there. They understand it. There's an author named Angela Duckworth who wrote a book called Grit a few years ago. Pete Carroll, the head coach, really bought into that and that idea of having a gritty, tough team. And we've seen evidence of it in 2019.
That's a great point, though. Come playoff time, if it's a one-score game down the stretch, they're not going to be daunted. Oh, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Mike 54. Go. Go.
On second down, it's Lynch. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
57 the mic. 57 the mic. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Oh, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
As the offense went on the field to start their last drive, you know they discussed in the huddle, hey, if we put one in the end zone here, we've put ourselves in a position to start making a comeback.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down. Kittle last year, what a season. 1,377 receiving yards, an NFL record for tight ends en route to his first Pro Bowl. Not bad for the former 5th-round pick. Actually, I remember that game, December against Denver. He had that monster first half, 210 yards, did not have a single catch in the second half, but still those 210 yards were just 4 yards shy of Shannon Sharp's single-game record for a tight end. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Garoppolo's throw taken in by Samuel. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7.
We got to step it up. Let's go, baby.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Garoppolo finding his tight end Kittle. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Tevin Coleman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Gold with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So that drive goes 8 plays, and Tevin Coleman polished it off with a touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Lady, my 54. Night, sweetheart.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And the defense obviously expecting run as well, as they're going to shut that one down at the line of scrimmage. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's got Lockett. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Right there, 54 Mike. Crunch time, defense.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where you see the final score there. Lamar Jackson leading the way as his guys pick up win number 14 on the year. From there, it's up to New Era Field in Orchard Park to check on the Bills. and they were losers in their ball game as they were outplayed by the visiting New York Jets. Sam Darnold leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
The 39-yard line.
Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
The 10th carry of the game for Marshawn Lynch. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He may try and run for this. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt sails over the sideline, and the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The linebacker Bobby Wagner able to get back in coverage and knock it free. To throw on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for the Niners. 42 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
Here we go.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Wilson. He'll check this down to Lynch, complete. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted.
Line 90. Mike 54. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
They run again on first down, Lynch. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Fred Warner coming off a strong rookie year in on the stop for the Niners. 2nd and 5 now. Wilson, open man is Jacob Hollister. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 44-yard line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Right there, 54 Mike.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. That's caught by Hollister. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run for it with Lynch. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Marshawn Lynch, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And polishing it all off, Marshawn Lynch with the TD run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And all the way down to the 35. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the 2-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back as he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that's going to make it 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Last year's NFL leader in field goal percentage, Robbie Gould, on for the Niners field goal. And this a 39-yard attempt. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And you can see they're in 2nd place in the division, but they have clinched postseason football. They have the best record among the wild card contenders, but you never really feel comfortable when you're down around that 5 or 6 slot, do you?
No, you don't. You figure you've got to close the deal. You've got to make sure you clinch that spot to make sure you keep your place in the tournament, in the playoffs. But the other part, too, is the coaching staff. All year they've talked about getting a high seed, clinching home field. Now that talk changes to, hey, we're in. That's all that matters. Let's go on the road and take care of business.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. To throw is Wilson. He'll dump it off complete to Lynch. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The catch and run good for 18 and a 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Now it's Wilson. Now a desperation throw. And this is caught inside the 5. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. David Moore, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This fielded at the 2. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. The face mask moves him all the way out past the 40 now for first down. Garoppolo. And this one complete to Levine Toilolo. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They're going to run the sweep. It's Samuel trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Now Garoppolo, able to haul it in as Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Gold to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. So Russell Wilson in the offense. Down by 2 touchdowns. Exactly 1 minute remaining. Field goals useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. Now Wilson on first down. And he's got the hook up to Moore. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. Throwing again on second down. Wilson, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off right around the 43, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory. So the victory here for San Francisco, and I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, you know, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done. So you're exactly right. A road win, precious, especially within the division.
So for the 49ers, a final win here means they'll finish off the regular season at a solid 13-3. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Seattle, despite the loss here, they're going to wind up with a very good 11-5 overall mark. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.